When you look up the word behavior in a dictionary, you find behavior, noun, definition of behavior. 1. The way in which someone conducts oneself. When we think of behavior, most people do not think about how an organism responds to its environment or every moment or thought that occurs throughout the day and night. Most people think of behavior in terms of the first definition listed, how they conduct themselves and behave. When someone uses the phrase, be on your best behavior, they are implying that you act a certain way and have good manners. Well, let's erase all of our preconceptions of what we think behavior is, and let's learn what behavior truly is from a scientific point of view. What is behavior? Behavior is everything that people do, including how they move and what they say, think, and feel. If you take that simple idea and break it down to our daily actions and interactions, you would quickly realize that you engage in behavior nonstop. Now that we realize how often behavior occurs, how do we break it down into a science of behavior known as ABA? So, when we want to study a behavior, we have to be able to see it and then collect information on it. In order to see it, we have to know what we're looking for. So, in order to study a behavior, the behavior must be observable and measurable with a clear beginning and ending. Behavior is something someone does. Whether it be an action or something they say, it is observable and measurable and must have a clear beginning and ending. Let's take a look around and find some behavior. This is Jerry. What is he doing? If you called him up and asked him what he was up to, he'd probably say, nothing. But is that possible? Is it possible to be doing absolutely nothing? The simple and short answer is no. If you are alive, it is impossible for you to be doing nothing because as living creatures, we are constantly reacting to our environment and stimuli. Our involuntary muscles are constantly adapting and adjusting to our body needs. How would we study this behavior? In order to observe what's going on, we need to define it. I think we can all agree that if asked, what is Jerry doing right now, most of us would answer, nothing. But nothing cannot be a behavior. We need to be able to recognize behavior first and foremost in order to study it. There's a little trick in ABA that we use to be able to correctly talk about behavior and identify it. It's called the dead man's test. If a dead man can do it, it ain't behavior. And if a dead man can't do it, then it is behavior. Mallet and Suarez, 2004. In order to correctly identify behavior, we need to focus on the do's instead of the don'ts. So, let's go back to Jerry. What's he doing again? Nothing? Can a dead man do nothing? Yes. So that is not the correct way to describe his behavior. We cannot observe nothing and measure it. But what we can observe and measure is Jerry sitting and for how long he is going to sit on the couch for. A lot of times when we talk about what we do or what we want to see changed in behaviors, we say what we don't want. I want my kid to stop yelling. I want her to stop being so bossy. I want to stop eating so much ice cream. I'm sure you can think of many more phrases of things you've heard or said with don't or stop statements when talking about behavior change. We are not really talking about behavior, are we? If I want my kid to stop yelling, what is the behavior I actually want him to be doing instead? Talking with an indoor voice? I want her to stop being bossy. Well, what is it that I actually want her to do? I want her to work calmly and give me time and space to complete my tasks. If I want to stop eating too much ice cream, I need to focus on what it is I actually want to do. I want to only eat ice cream once a week. Do you see the difference? When we talk about behavior, we want to make sure we are describing active actions, not passive ones. We need to be specific and make sure what we are describing is easily understood and clearly defined. We can start to study and analyze behavior by having a clear understanding of what behavior is and how to define it.